The number of criminal cases related to bribery in the Russian army is growing in Russia. Thus, according to Ukrainian intelligence, the number of criminal cases for illegal dismissal from service due to health reasons and the provision of illegal vacations has tripled in the southern military district of the Federation in the first 5 months of 2024. More than 100 cases have been opened against officials.
38 cases against servicemen of the 102nd Motorized Rifle Regiment conducting combat operations in the area of the city of Chasiv Yar. 35 cases against the 71st Motorized Rifle Regiment located on the border with Sumy region. 33 cases against the 49th Brigade of the 49th Army. Main Directorate of Intelligence of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine on Telegram.
Another 43 criminal cases are related to the receipt of bribes for recognizing military personnel as partially fit. Corruption in the Russian army is a familiar story for the Federation. However, the sharp increase in open criminal cases reflects the real state of affairs.
Recording of relevant episodes in the form of criminal cases may indicate an increase in the level of demoralization of the personnel of the occupation forces and a threatening trend for Moscow towards fleeing the Russian army by any means. Main Directorate of Intelligence of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine on Telegram.
In order to attract as many Russians as possible to the army, the government is increasing payments. Thus, for August 2024, volunteers in Russia will be paid twice as much. Each one who signed a contract with the Ministry of Defense by the end of this year for a period of 1 year or more will receive a one-time payment of 400,000 rubles. In addition, a directive was sent down to the regions to pay volunteers another 400,000 from the local budget. Thus, the price of a Russian soldier's life will be 800,000 rubles.
Vladimir Vladimirovich is fighting with money, and though he tried very hard, he was unable to create such popular enthusiasm, like "Rise up, huge country, the fatherland is in danger," and other nonsense. He was unable to achieve this. Yes, he managed to achieve the fact that people do not like Ukrainians. They think that everyone is against them, but there is still no enthusiasm for the war. And he buys lives and blood. He simply buys that. He pays huge amounts of money to those who agree to go to the front.
Immediately after Putin's decree on increasing payments was issued, the press service of the Saratov region governor reported a tenfold increase in compensation from 50 to 500,000 rubles. In order to attract volunteers to the Russian army, the Kremlin is ready to pay so-called headhunters as well. In 9 Russian regions, authorities are offering cash rewards to those who bring people willing to go to war to selection points. According to the authorities, financial motivation has allowed them to recruit 730,000 new contract soldiers in a year and a half. At the same time, journalists from the publication Important Stories emphasized that the Russian Defense Ministry inflated the figures by 1.5 times. According to data on federal budget expenditures from autumn of 2022 to April 2024, 426,000 Russians received a one-time payment of 195,000 rubles.
Мы можем с уверенностью говорить: нет, это не мотивировка.
We can say with confidence, no, this is not a motivation, and this is not an incentive. Those people who really have very serious problems join the army for money. These are people who are over-indebted, people who are in microcredit, credit slavery, who have 18 outstanding loans taken out of a bank, who have cards with huge debts, who have non-payments for housing and communal services, alimony, which they do not pay, people who have financial problems. And these are those who first of all took the bait, who were led by this cheap scam.
The shortfall is also indicated by the fact that there are on average twice as many mobilized people in Russia as those who signed contracts. But neither volunteers nor mobilized people make up for the huge losses. Russia has lost a record 70,000 troops in the last 2 months and could potentially lose more than 1,000 daily, according to British intelligence. Reported by Diana Kolesnik, Yulia Granovska, UATV News.